Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the gel manicure. You might think it's just, some fancy polish and a special light, right? Well, the real story is so much cooler. It involves powerful chemical reactions, some serious precision engineering, and even the biology of your own body. So, let's get into the secret science hiding right at your fingertips.
Okay, let's start with something I bet you felt. You slide your hand under the UV lamp, everything's fine, and then, bam, that sudden, sharp, burning feeling. It's called a heat spike. And no, it's not the lamp getting too hot. It's actually our first clue that something incredible is happening on a microscopic level.
You see, getting that perfect, chip-free shine for weeks on end isn't just about art. It's a really precise combination of biology, chemistry, and some highly specialized skills. What looks so simple is actually, well, anything but.
So what is really going on? On the surface, yeah, it's a simple coat of color, but underneath, a powerful chemical transformation is taking place, turning a liquid gel into a super strong, solid coating that's engineered to last. And here is the first big secret we need to uncover. Unlike the regular polish that you just let air dry, gel polish doesn't dry at all, it cures. And that's not just a fancy word. It means we're not dealing with evaporation, we're dealing with straight-up chemistry.
The star of this whole chemical show is a process called polymerization. Okay, so when the UV light from that lamp hits the gel, it acts like a starting gun. It tells all these tiny liquid molecules, which are called monomers, to start linking up together into these long, really tough chains called polymers.
The best way to picture it is like this. Imagine millions and millions of tiny molecules all linking arms at the exact same time. They're creating this incredibly strong interconnected net like a microscopic scaffolding right on top of your nail. This crazy fast chain reaction is what gives gel its amazing durability. And yep, you guessed it, it's also what's causing that heat spike.
As all those millions of chemical bonds are forming, they release a burst of energy. And we feel that energy as heat. It's called an exothermic reaction. Now, if that reaction happens really, really fast, maybe the gel was put on a little too thick or your hands are just naturally warm, you feel that intense, sudden spike. So it's not a burn from the lamp. It's literally the feeling of chemistry happening at lightning speed.
So if this stuff gets so hard, how do technicians shape it or take it off? Well, it takes more than just a nail file. A really skilled tech uses what's called an E-file, which is basically a precision sculpting tool. And choosing the right attachment or bit for it is absolutely critical.
And this is where a tech's expertise is just so important. These color-coded bits are not interchangeable. A fine grit red bit, that's for delicate work around the cuticle. But a coarse green one? That's a power tool designed to remove tough acrylics fast. Using the wrong bit can really, really damage the natural nail underneath.
Okay, so we've talked about the chemistry of the gel and the tools of the trade, but what about the canvas they're working on? Your nail isn't just one solid thing. It has a surprisingly complex structure, and understanding that structure is the key to a manicure that lasts and doesn't cause any damage.
I want you to think of your nail plate kind of like the Earth's crust. It has different layers, like geological strata, and each layer has totally different properties. A great technician knows they aren't working on a simple surface. They're working with a delicate ecosystem.
Now, here's why this is so important. The very top layer of your nail, called the dorsal layer, is the hardest part. It's the perfect surface for that gel to grip onto. But the layers underneath, they're much softer, and they have more natural oils and moisture. So, if a technician gets too aggressive with the E-file, they can accidentally remove that vital top layer. And when that happens, the gel has nothing to properly stick to. This is one of the biggest reasons for lifting.
This whole delicate balance of chemistry and biology means that expertise is everything. When things go wrong, it can be a lot more serious than just a chipped nail, which is exactly why proper training for technicians is completely non-negotiable.
Probably the single most common allergy in the nail industry is something called contact dermatitis. It's an immune system response that can happen when uncured gel, which has ingredients called methacrylates, repeatedly touches your skin. It can actually develop over time and become pretty painful and persistent.
So prevention is key. A professional tech will do everything they can to minimize skin contact with any uncured product. That means keeping their station spotless, using the correct lamp for the full recommended time, and being super precise. Especially when they're cleansing that sticky layer off the end. They should always wipe away from the cuticle, never towards it.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The professional training manuals are crystal clear on this. Overfiling is one of the absolute biggest risks. It doesn't just make the nail weak,
It removes the natural barrier that protects the sensitive nail bed underneath, and that can open the door to some much more serious problems.
So this brings us to the #1 complaint, and the big mystery that we can finally solve with everything we've just learned. Why in the world does a gel manicure sometimes start peeling or lifting off the nail?
Well, the answer almost always comes down to one of three things. Number 1, bad prep. Either the nail wasn't cleansed of oils properly, or, you guessed it, the tech filed too deep into those soft lower layers we talked about. 2, application error. If even a tiny bit of gel touches the skin around the nail, it breaks the seal and gives the gel a place to start lifting. And 3, under-curing. If that polymerization process wasn't fully completed, it means that microscopic scaffolding was never properly built in the first place, and it's just going to fail.
So, now that we've peeled back all these layers, you're not just a client sitting in a chair anymore. You're an informed consumer who actually understands the deep science behind the service you're getting.
You now know that a perfect, long-lasting manicure is this delicate dance between biology and chemistry. It's all about respecting the nail's natural structure while correctly harnessing a really powerful chemical reaction. It's truly where science meets art.
So the next time you sit down for a manicure and you feel that little heat spike, you'll know exactly what's happening. You're not just getting your nails done. You're commissioning a tiny, personalized work of chemical engineering right there on your fingertips.